Hello and welcome to Forteachers. Today's video I'm going to show you all how to use Class Dojo. I think it's a great app and I think a lot of teachers use it already. They use it on the interactive whiteboard or perhaps on their iPad so that they can give points or reward systems to their children. I think it is much more than that. I think it's amazing. I think it's a great tool to use for behaviour management, but I also see a lot of teachers in classrooms that I go to not using it well or not using it to the best ability that it could be. So I'm going to give you 4 tips today. The tips in this video are for beginners, people who are new to Class Dojo, but there is one killer tip, number 4, to stick around for. If you've used Class Dojo in the past though, you might want to check out part 2 of this video. Part 2 is going to be a little bit more about hacks, how to get the best out of Class Dojo, some of the best things I've tried, some up-leveling skills, so do check out that video and I'll put the link on at the end. Okay, sit back, enjoy. There are 4 tips in this video and let's see tip number 1. Tip number 1, I'd like to show you how to quickly set up your Class Dojo. Once you've gone to the website, you can scroll yourself down and you can look at your classes, and if you click the plus button, you can add a new class. Once you've added a new class, you can give it a class name. So for instance, this one I'm just going to call New Demo, and you can give your class grade as well. So whichever grade you teach, you can give it your grade. I'm going to go for grade 3. Once you click Add Class, you're ready to import your student list. I think the easiest thing to do is to click at the top right where it says Import and choose Import from Word, where you've already got your document with your class list of names. Just highlight those and copy, and you're going to paste that list back into the list. Make sure that you've separated each name with a comma or with a space, and you can check that you've got the first and last names in the right order before you continue. Once you press that, you're done adding students. Class Dojo will just run through that we're going to share the positives with parents and populate that grid. You can invite parents so they can see and check up on those points, and you're ready to go. Effectively, that is the first step for setting up your Class Dojo. Tip number 2, I'm going to show you how to set up your class into team groups and how to place a mascot for each group. So you'll notice that my class here has been set up into different groups and each one has been color coded. I'm just going to press the plus button and show you how to do that. If you click Add Group, you can give a blue tick to those people that you want in that group, and then you go down to the bottom to Create Group, and it will set up different groups, so you can allocate table groups or reading groups, however you set up your classroom. Okay, so the most important part about having groups is that you can then give group points. You can select All Group, Add Group, and just give a point for that table or that group. And secondly, the next thing to do is to just check that you've got the same avatar for each group, and it really gives them a brand or a mascot, so something to identify them. So if you go to Edit Class List, you can scroll down and you can find the kids that you want to put into that group. You click their avatar and you can scroll down and select one. So I'm going to give this an orange team theme, and everyone's going to have the same orange avatar. And you just click Save, and then you can start to do that for everybody else in that group. After you've set up that for your team groups, you can see, going back to the group list, you can very quickly click on a group, award them a task, so the whole table's been helping each other, you've given that group 1 point. If you go back to the title screen, you'll see another way to do it is, it's very easy to recognize that all of these students are now the same color, so you can quickly click on all those ones at the same color and give them a group point too. So there are different ways to add those points. Okay, tip number 3 is to edit skills and value. This time I'm going to show you how to edit your class, and instead of looking at students, you can click on the skills tab at the top. If you choose one of these icons, the blue pencil will come up and it'll show that you can edit that. So instead of saying helping others, you might want to focus really well on good teamwork. And you can change the point weighting too. If you change that to 5 points, it's going to be a much bigger reward for that whole team. Click Save and you'll see that the changes have been made. So now, when I go back to my class list, I can select a group, award that point, and instead of 1 point, it'll be 5 points each for great teamwork. And the best thing about having this is that whatever is really griping on you, whatever really irritates you at the moment in your class, you can make that a focus, and suddenly it becomes a super positive thing. So perhaps in your class, the thing that really annoys you the most is that the glue lids are always left off. Well, why not turn that into a positive? Glue lid's left on, let's scroll down, let's give it a diamond because we really want to focus on that. It's something rare that never happens in our class. And the next time that happens, you can make it into a really positive thing. Guys, I'm going to give you points if you get your glue lids left on, and show them that it's worth 5 points and it's something that you're all going to start respecting a lot more in your own classroom. Okay, so moving on to our final points. And so on to tip number 4. Tip number 4, as I said, is the most important one, and it's a thing that I see a lot of people
not following, or a lot of people making a few little errors that are so easy to change to get the most out of Class Dojo. So sit back and watch tip number 4.
Final point is to never ever remove Class Dojo points. Now, there is the option on Class Dojo to give points, and also when you click someone, you can click the needs work button and you can set up points for negative points, like good for nothing, late, lazy. But the negative connotations have been branded as lazy and losing a few points. I feel it's really detrimental to the child's development, and it's not really great behaviour management either. You may as well click, you've lost 5 points because the teacher's lost patience with you, which is really not effective behaviour management at all. And what happens is children get negative points, they start to lose points, and if they're losing a lot of points, they might even go into the red. They might have -4, so you could even give the whole class a negative point like this, which is really not great. I don't think anyone should say that the whole class needs a group punishment or a loss of points. It's a little bit like saying that you're going to lose money for a bad day at work, and you'd hate it if someone started to take salary money from you after you've done a great job for the rest of the week, just for having one small little blip. And it really does stay there, and I think, as you can see, it could stay there all day until they get points and go back into the green, which could have a really negative effect on them. I think if a child comes into class each morning or from one lesson to the next and sees that they're still starting on the back foot and they're starting on a negative, it's really not going to put them in a great mood and make them feel ready to do something positive.
And I really think it is that simple, that to stick to the positives, to make sure that you are a positive classroom, and think about these points as a digital reward. There's no tangible token that they're taking home. It costs you nothing to produce a Class Dojo point. What does it matter if you're giving thousands of these points out? People come into my classroom and they see that my Class Dojo total in the corner is up to 5,000 or something, and they think, wow, what are you doing? You're giving out so many points. I give out lots of different rewards as well, but Class Dojo points, they're something that don't mean too much. And if you really want to see how I give out so many points but still maintain it as a positive reward system that still trains children to behave and manage their own behaviour, then you really need to stick around for part 2, so give it a look. We are Forteachers. Don't forget to leave comments below. I know Class Dojo is going to be really popular, so hit us up with what you use it for, tips for me, because I don't know everything. And if you've got any interest in this topic, then you really want to hit subscribe, because part 2 is coming soon. Check it out, links below. We are Forteachers. Goodbye.